everyone, welcome. Today, we're going to crack open the secrets of something you probably have in your kitchen right now, the humble almond. And I promise you, by the end of this, you're going to see this tiny seed in a completely new light. It's a powerhouse of history, science, and some genuinely wild surprises.
So let's just start with a super simple question. You know what this is, right? It's an almond, and you'd probably say it's a nut. I mean, it makes sense. It's in the nut aisle, it's sold in mixed nuts. It seems totally obvious. But that is where our whole story really begins, because believe it or not, it's not a nut at all. So first things first, we need to correct this huge misconception. Let's dive in and uncover what the almond really is. Okay, so get this. Botanically speaking, an almond is what's called a drupe. That just means it's the seed of a fruit. When it's actually growing on the tree, it looks like a small, fuzzy green peach. And that makes perfect sense because the almond tree and the peach tree are basically botanical cousins. The nut that we all eat is actually the seed from inside the pit of that fruit. Now, here's another thing. Not all almonds are created equal. We have the delicious, totally safe sweet almonds that we snack on. But their wild relative, the bitter almond, that's a completely different story. It contains something called amygdalin, a compound that can break down into cyanide. And yeah, it is potent. Just a small handful can be seriously toxic. But what's absolutely fascinating is that ancient civilizations knew this. They actually harnessed its powerful compounds for things like medicines and even really complex rituals, like embalming. And that brings us to the almond's incredible journey through time. You have to understand, this wasn't just food. For most of history, it was a treasure.
We're talking about a history that goes back over 5,000 years. Archaeologists have found that the almond was one of the very first trees ever to be domesticated by humans. They knew it was something special right from the start. And what's so remarkable is how the almond's value just never faded. Early humans saw it as a kind of superfood. By 1352 BCE, it was so prized it was found buried with King Tut. In the medieval period, almond milk was this luxury drink you'd only find in royal courts. And today, it's a massive global industry. And its value was so multifaceted. It was a treasure for pharaohs, sure, but it was also considered brain food for ancient scholars in India who believed it improved your memory. The famous Queen Cleopatra, well, she reportedly used almond oil in her beauty routines. Even the almond blossom was symbolic. It represented hope and rebirth to poets because it's one of the very first trees to bloom after a long winter.
But the almond isn't just important historically. It's a biological marvel. Seriously, its survival instincts are just as incredible as its history.
Despite having these beautiful, delicate blossoms, almond trees are incredibly tough. They are true warriors, capable of growing in poor soil and surviving intense droughts. This amazing resilience is what allowed them to spread from their home in the Middle East all across the ancient world.
You know, one of the most amazing discoveries is that almond trees can actually talk to each other. I'm serious. When one tree is attacked by insects, it releases chemical signals into the air. Other trees nearby can pick up on this warning, and then they activate their own defenses. It's like a silent, invisible, but super powerful community network. The almond's genius also extends to what's inside. It's one of the rare natural foods that contains this perfect trio for sleep. You've got melatonin, the sleep hormone, magnesium, which helps calm the nervous system, and protein to keep you full. No wonder traditional Persian and Indian medicine used soaked almonds to treat insomnia for centuries.
Okay, so we've seen its ancient past and its biological secrets, but the almond story is still evolving. And it's taking it from the orchard into some very, very unexpected places.
Which leads me to a pretty strange question. What on earth could almonds possibly have to do with the car you drive every single day?
Well, the answer is in the shells, the part that for years was just considered agricultural waste. Now, they're being totally transformed. They're turned into biofuel, biodegradable plastics, and even cosmetic exfoliants. And yes, they're ground down and used as a durable, lightweight filler in automobile parts, replacing petroleum-based plastics. The humble almond shell is literally a key ingredient in modern innovation.
So, the next time you pick up a handful of almonds, remember all this. It's not just a snack. You're holding a tiny piece of history, science, and a little bit of magic. A story of survival, of royalty, and cutting-edge technology, all wrapped up in one small seed. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other everyday items in our lives are hiding stories this incredible, just waiting for us to discover them? Thanks for tuning in.